And we start from Akwatia. The National Peace Council is hoping to agree on rules of conduct with leaders of the NPP and NDC and other stakeholders in the Akwatia by-election less than 24 hours away. Both parties have traded accusations of attempts to undermine security arrangements ahead of Tuesday's polls. The minority alleged intimidation of residents and lapses in security arrangements, which has been dismissed by the NDC. In light of this, the National Peace Council hopes the two parties will come to an understanding to ensure a credible and peaceful electoral process. Here is the Executive Secretary of the Peace Council, George Amo.
We gave the parties our word that we are going to bring them together. We met them individually, separately. By this time, we pledged that we would engage the two of them in a dialogue before the Akwatia election, by-election. So one, like I've told him, we want to live up to our word. The board, met with them. So we want to live up to our word. Second, we think that the parties should meet and understand the elections and the way things should be. For example, there should be a mutual understanding between the main contending parties, NDC, NPP, as to how they will conduct themselves, not only during the elections, but more importantly, after the elections on Tuesday. For example, how do we handle the declaration processes? The laws are there, but we all witnessed what happened in the 2024 election in some polling centers. We don't want to repeat of situations where party men would rush on the electoral commission, when declarations are being done to disrupt the process and etc. We don't want that to happen. So we want to have some kind of a mutual agreement as to the way we should all conduct ourselves before, during, and after. And that is why we want to engage the two key political parties. Yes, we've met with you individually, but this time we want you to come to a consensus as to how we will conduct ourselves after, more important, after the elections.
Right.
Yeah. So that is it. That is it. We are trying to ensure we sustain the peace.
Meanwhile, the police and a show force marched through some streets of Akwatia in a demonstration to maintain order during the by-election. Adam FM Kosiazo gave an overview of what transpired.
As we've informed you, the Ghana Police Service has deployed massively to Akwatia, and our objective is to ensure that the election proceeds smoothly and we have a peaceful by-election. We are here to ensure the security of every person in Akwatia, including every person who will go out on the election day to vote. Once again, we want to assure you that if you see our men in town, just remember that we are here because of you. We are here because of your safety. We are here because of your security. As our Director General of Operations informed you the other day, our men are on the ground. Adequate vehicles have been deployed. Our mobile patrol teams are on. The Black Maria is also available. That is our mobile cells. We are here to ensure that everyone is safe. And we also once again want to throw a word of caution to those who want to foment trouble. that we are prepared for you and will deal with you according to the law. Today, as you witnessed, the community assurance patrols was conducted, and our commanders are also across all the various electoral areas doing community engagement just to let the community know that we are here mainly to ensure security, law and order. People are speculating that, some people are afraid they'll come. No, we want everybody to know that the police stands for protection. We stand for safety. We stand for everybody's security. So feel free, be reassured that wherever you see any police officer, know that they are there for you in particular.
Let's get the latest on preparations for the by-election. Eastern Regional Electoral Commission Director John Appiah Bafo joins me with more. We're grateful for your time, Mr. Bafo, on our desk.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Can you give us an overview of how prepared the Commission is for the election?
Yeah, the Commission is ready for tomorrow's election. When it comes to election materials, we procured all of them and we packaged them. The ballot papers are ready, the DVD, the registers, and all election materials are ready. We've put our election officials. We are 484 election officials. They are the returning officers, deputy returning officers, technicians, POs, that is presiding officers, name reference list officers, verification officers, and ballot issuers. We send them to classroom and we send all of them on the electoral process. They are do's and do's. So I would say that Commission is ready for tomorrow's election. We have said everything is ready now.
How many polling stations will be set up?
We have 119 polling stations, 119 polling stations. And we also have 52,328 voters. So we are expecting 52,328 voters to come and cast their vote tomorrow.
Indeed, there have been concerns about security during this election, even before, and then during. How are you collaborating with the security on the ground, especially the police, to ensure a credible process?
Yeah, we've been engaged there. We've met with the security for almost 5 times. And I would say that the security is very high here, to the extent that they've even brought their mobile prison. So if somebody can misbehave, then that person will be in trouble. So security is very high. We'll be collaborating, and I'm very hopeful that tomorrow everything will move on smoothly.
I'm sure you've also been meeting with the party's representatives.
Yes, we engage them. We have right back and die back meetings with them. And we explain to them what is also expected of them. The do's and don'ts, the number of agents that they are supposed to send to the polling stations and the collation centers. And they even pledge that they will ensure that you have peaceful elections tomorrow.
And also the credibility of the process. I know everything, the logistics are ready, but also to ensure absolute trust in the Electoral Commission to conduct a credible process. What are the things you are considering to ensure that there are no questions from either party in this election?
Well, as I earlier said, we've trained all our officers, and we've also spoken with them to make sure that they comport themselves very well so that we have credible elections. And then we also have our monitors, head office monitors, the regional directorate monitors, and we zone the area into state, but we will be monitoring the area. So in case they are there to deal with them. So I'm very for that. We are going to have one of the first training and people in it.
Right. And just before I let you off, have there been arrangements made to include the disabled and those who may not have, the disabled, actually, the vulnerable?
Yes, we've made those arrangements. The taxi doctors are there, and then our police stations are also more accessible to all persons, especially people with disability.
Well, conducting the exercise itself, what time is it supposed to start, finish, and then what's the process going to look like?
Yeah, it's the normal time that we use for a lesson. That we start at 7 a.m. and then we end or we close at 5 p.m. So at 5 p.m., if nobody is in the queue, then we start the counting. But in case somebody is in the queue, that person will be allowed to vote. But at 5 p.m., the security man will be at the end of the queue and will never allow any voter to join the queue. So the same process that we are getting the same.
All right. Any last words for the constituents as well as the parties, everybody engaged in this process, just before you leave us?
Yeah, we entreat everybody, especially the Akwatia voters, to come out in their numbers to cast their vote. The security is there to protect them. They should not be afraid. They should come out in their numbers. And then those coming from outside, the Akwatia people who are voting. So if they are coming to observe, then they should also comport themselves so that they don't create any chaotic scene.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bafo. I know you're very busy today making your way to Akwatia, and hopefully we can speak again soon. So we spoke there to Mr. Bafo. He's the Eastern Regional Electoral Commission and chair there. Well, still discussing by-elections. The NDC's balloting has been completed for the September 6th contest. 12 candidates are all hopeful of achieving victory. Meanwhile, the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Barbara Sewa-Samoa, has cautioned against acrimony. Martina Bugui reports.
The stage is set for the election of a new candidate to replace the late Member of Parliament for Tamale Central Constituency, Dr. Mohammed Mutala. Voting and ballot took place today, paving way for the final election scheduled for September 6, 2025. The aspirants picked these numbers after balloting. Professor Ali Duseidu Mahama picked number 1, Mariam Manama Salifu number 2, Aliu Abdul Hamid number 3, Professor Abdul Razak Abubakari number 4, Shamima Yakubu number 5, Dr. Seidu Fita Mohammed number 6, Dr. Abdul Rahman Rashid number 7, Mulaika Swalisu number 8, Al-Hassan Osman Gomda number 9, Al-Hassan Bamba number 10, Sadat Haruna number 11, and Abdul Hanan Gundadu number 12. Each candidate believes the number picked holds significant meaning to their campaign and winning of the elections. Professor Ali Duseidu Mahama, who picked number 1, believes its victory from start to finish. Abdul Hanan Gundadu stated that the number 12 he picked signifies that he will be the one to carry them all, whilst Mariama Nama Salifu believes that number 2 represents unity and she's the one to unify the constituency. Speaking to the media, Professor Ali Duseidu outlined his vision for the constituency.
JSS level, when they were going to write the BEC, the late honorable will organize extra classes for them to attend. I'm going to continue that one. Then I'll start my own at the SS level too. So when they're going to write SST, we're going to do that. I'm going to institute an endowment fund known as the Honorable Murtala Mohammed Education Fund to be able to sponsor people, brilliant students within the constituency who are not able to afford money to attend school. What I also intend doing is to empower the youth through job creation. We know there are a lot of students who have finished school but are still looking for jobs. So what we're going to do as much as possible to see how we can use our networks and leverages to be able to help them.
Abdul Hanan Gundadu believes he has served the people before and the delegates will speak on election day.
The party has a constitution. It has a set of rules governing the membership of the party. The party, for you to belong to the party, you must start from a branch up to somewhere. You don't start from national or somewhere else and presume that you are a member of the party. I have a branch. I have been a member of a branch, and I have served that branch with distinction. Look, the other candidates, the other people that are being thrown onto the constituency indicate to me, Martina, you have been in this constituency. You knew the way I served the people. But unfortunately, somebody somewhere else doesn't recognize that sacrifice that I made on behalf of the party. But I think what is important is the constituents, is the delegates who will make that final determination.
Deputy General Secretary of the party, Barbara Sewa Samoa, said they would not want anything that would mar the elections.
It is in our interest to indeed ensure that the elections are free and fair, especially when it's such competitive, and knowing that whoever emerges as the parliamentary candidate is already in parliament, the stakes are very, very high. And so it's whatever we will do as a party to make sure that the elections go free and fair, we have to do it so that we don't get any acrimony at all after the election, especially looking at the circumstances that we find ourselves in.
Well, let's head back to Akwatia, and Akwatia, as always, with our sister station, Adom FM, joins us on the phone lines. Kwesi, how is the situation there right now? I mean, it's just barely 24 hours to the by-election. What can you report?
Mame, Akwatia is very calm and cool this morning after yesterday. Let me start from the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission says everything is set well for the elections tomorrow. All the electoral materials are in, and they are done with training of their electoral officers, and everything is okay with the Electoral Commission. With the security, the police is telling us that they are done with their preparation and everything. Yesterday they had a march, assurance march on the principal street of Akwatia to tell the residents that they are ready for this election and they are ready to protect each and everybody who they come into Akwatia, who is voting tomorrow. They will be ready to protect each and everybody. With regard to the two bigger political parties, the NDC and the MPP, they're also ready. Yesterday they wrap up with all their rallies at Akwatia and where we are precisely. With the MPP yesterday, they didn't have a dare, but they went to the bigger communities like Ghana, Kpokpoi, Wenchi, Takra, those areas to have a catch-up with the constituents who are ready to listen to them. So currently, everything is set, everything is well. Akwatia is calm, Webia is calm, everything is okay over there. People are waiting for tomorrow's election.
Well, on that last bit, I mean, we've spoken extensively about the preparations of the security men, also the Electoral Commission, but the people themselves, what's the enthusiasm? Is there any enthusiasm at all towards the election tomorrow?
I spoke to some constituents, and some of them told me earlier that they are ready, even they are eager to even have the election, even if it is today, they are eager to vote. So their reason is very simple. They say they are looking for somebody who represents them in Parliament, and they are lacking time to start project to develop. So they are looked for rehabilitation, they are roads, facilities, infrastructure, and they have somebody who is following. So they are even if the election to be held, they are ready.
Akwesi, I'm losing you there. Could you reposition yourself just before you go off? What's the activity in the town aside political activities? I'm sure that economic activities too have taken off really well, considering the number of people coming into the town. Hotels must be booked. All of the hotels must be filled by now, and also other economic activities taking shape. What can you say about that?
Yeah, with the hotel as I'm talking to you right now, Akwatia constituency, there's no dollar that happens. With regard to the 2.6, that is Akwatia country. All the Ataman for some of that to do some of that for people within project protect. I have one of the chapters, food and hot with this was 67 away. A business moving up, those who are global and food, especially food products, and people are buying food and drink a lot. Business, especially operators and those who are selling drink, alcoholic drinks and so on and so forth. And they are making money with regard to buy it. Transportation, people have been in and out with the of the fire. Canada, they are all,
All right. Thank you so much, Kwesiazo. At least the point has been made. Economic activities at Akwatia are booming. While away from Akwatia, Interior Minister Montaka Mubarak has directed the National Disaster Management Organization to urgently compile data on the thousands displaced by recent bloody clashes in Benyiri and surrounding communities as government moves to roll out humanitarian support. District NADMO Director Zakaria Mahama said more than 40,000 people have been displaced, with some in neighboring Ivory Coast.
We've tasked NADMO to get us the accurate numbers in every area because, as you know, some have been displaced internally, others have been displaced across our borders, others are even in other regions. So we are trying to get the exact number and then we'll see exactly what can be done. But I can assure you that in the meantime, a lot has been done. Food items is coming, we're getting tents and all that. And then we are hopeful that if by the grace of God, as His Royal Highness have assured us, that very soon they may be able to even return back to Sudan. So you can be rest assured that yes, we are concerned, we are worried about our own citizens and the displacement, yes, but we are taking concrete steps and a lot of things are being done to ensure that they are not left to their fate. But government is making effort to go to their.
Well, some of the displaced persons say they hardly get food to eat. They spoke to JoyNews.
We have heard information that the cattle that we left, the goats, everything is just they are just picking them. And as I'm speaking now, I am a church elder and then a businessman too. So I heard that they have packed the goods that we bought. They have packed everything. So as I'm speaking, if we go back and they are burning our houses too. So now if we go back, we don't have any place to live.
So which community were you living? Your community?
Gole. I'm living Gole, just around Bale.
Wale ya ntehe nipa ne bi wo hono ye bi so omo se hwe na sola na asem si so ye wo hwa na omo wurawura krasi na omo hihifie ne ekunkunku ti wo no omo wo hokra wunya taade ba akokra na wa hye yeso e ba sa e ba kuduku du o fa taade ba du o wa fum so e ba sa no taade ba ko afum aya na ye de batika ye obedi cry living kwala no omutimi suanda just do wo kwan bi so ba ha no mo wo them.
I'm a farmer. I'm from farm here. I'm from farm to this place.
Okay. So you came today, or when did you come here?
It was Monday that I came here. From Monday to today, I didn't even back.
You are here with your wife and children?
Yes, this is my child. Okay. And some even 3 months. We are here. I'm even sorry.
Well, acting on the instructions of President John Mahama, Minister for Interior held talks with the Yakbanwura and other security chiefs in a bid to restore calm after the violence. He also asked for data on the displaced persons to move in aid.
It's a generic term that we are using. I mean, you know there's curfew, and in the curfew, it has stated everything. No carrying of arms, no wearing war regalia, no carrying of offensive weapons and all that. And the historical hands have given us assurance that they are going to cooperate with the security agencies to ensure that all these things are brought to an end. So be rest assured that, I mean, we are just calling on all the freedom factions to understand that nothing can be compared to peace. Once we all agree to sit down and begin talking, I'm sure all these things will be a thing of the past. Thank you very much. Sure. I mean, you see the immigration officers here. Now we are even combining both the, I mean, not only the immigration, but the military and the police, and they are patrolling the whole of our stretch. We are also engaging our colleagues across the borders, I mean, in Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire, for all of us to hold the line, to just ensure that we do not necessarily cross to create problems for each other. So all those things have been taken over. Like I assure you that we are not leaving any stone unturned. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is very concerned, and he's showing leadership and is pushing to make sure that we resolve all these things as soon as possible, so that peace will remain, will be returned to this place. Thank you very much. We are grateful.
Near the Interior Minister in the Savannah region yesterday. Well, joining us is Savannah Regional Correspondent Isaac Nonya. Isaac, what's the latest on the humanitarian situation?
Supply have been increased in the camp right behind the Solar Police Station, because some NGOs yesterday, like Ghana World Vision, NATCO and Co, brought some food items and added to what government already brought 4 days ago. Notwithstanding that, the residents, the people are saying that they don't get enough to eat, and some of them who came yesterday said that they only managed to get 1 square meal, and that was somewhere 4 p.m. yesterday. So I approached NADMO, and they told me that, well, what they gave them was what was available, but today there will be improvement. And really this morning, I'm right around where they just cooked 3 big pots, iron pots of wache, some kind of soup, and supply them. Definitely, based on the increasing number in the camp, it's more likely that one cannot get what he or she used to eat back at home. Another thing has to do with one major thing that's lacking. I mean, a place of convenience or a washroom. No, the ladies or the female in particular, where they have to go and wash down is a major concern, because the way the camp is fragmented, the number has increased and the people are many. How to hide to take your bath or also go for a place of inconvenience is very difficult, especially for the female resident over here.
Well, we understand that the NADMO director is also making a tour of some of the areas where displaced persons are. What's the latest on that?
Well, he visited Binyiri, the targeted community, and 2 others. And according to him, when he went back to Binyiri, you know, many of the people there who didn't come, some who didn't come here, were actually locked themselves in the rooms. They only come out at a time that they know that's convenient, and then get back with their food, water, anything. So there were those he went and saw there. And I'm hearing from Red Cross today that they will be sending them, they were able to send them 10 bags of rice, including others relief items that could just take care of them for a day, according to that Red Cross, because based on the number there, the 10 bags of rice will not do them anything.
Well, there were direct orders to NADMO to get the exact number of displaced persons, you know, currently. Do we know, as at now, how many people are displaced?
The general displacement, both NADMO and Ghana Red Cross are yet to come up with a figure. You know, when we went to Cote d'Ivoire, the figure that was given to us over there from the authority there was 14,000. And as we left, I'm told more people are still moving across the border to Cote d'Ivoire. Here in Ghana, at the Solar Police Station, the figure that started around 12,000 has jumped to 43,000, and currently, as we speak, the figure is 48,005. That is just from the Ghana Red Cross. On the part of NADMO that must say he has difficulties gathering the figures because people come in and they leave the following day. People don't come here, they don't know where they are. But I think what Red Cross is doing is very commendable because they will go to the communities. These people, those who fled, they live alone inside communities. They are able to get the data and subtract from those who have come to the camp and those who have also left for other areas. So that's why we are currently having the 48,005 displaced people.
Right. And so what's the current situation about the conflict? Is it calm or there's still some fighting going on there?
I can speak in the area of Bola district. Until the issue, the conflict escalated, Bola was peaceful. But as we speak, time ago, Sola is very calm, for that matter, relatively calm. But the issue of Bola, that is where the conflict is now taking place because those who were there initially thought, according to them, that it was limited to Sola. But when they went to Sola, the other faction went around the village in Sola and didn't get many people because they fled away. They knew that same people or the same faction have their relations also scattered around Bola district. So they relocated there. And all the figures that are coming out right now, from 2 days ago up to now, are all from Bola district. And that explains why the IGP had to reinforce close to 200 officers loaded inside the 2 buses that were sent from Tamale to Bola to able to keep law and order over there.
Do we know, as of now, whether the situation in Ivory Coast is much better? The people are returning or they're still there? The numbers are going up?
Well, I spotted a gentleman here this morning who told me that he actually relocated from Cote d'Ivoire. So I tried to know why a plane he ran to for safety rather came back to Ghana. And he told me that while there, the condition was not good. Rightly so, because they sleep in the open. Children, women, and all of them sleep in the open. And when they do that, you hear them cry overnight, and the following day, you see them to be corpses lying down. And based on that, he even crossed over to Ghana, leaving his wife and children behind. I asked how he got information from Ghana and had to come alone. He told me that he called somebody who is already in the camp here, and they also explained the condition in the camp to him. Shelter, food, and at least a free will to make your call and roam about. That alone compelled him to come over to Ghana here. So really, the appeal made over there by the regional minister and his team that visited Cote d'Ivoire is really a result because some are voluntarily relocating to Ghana before the second going of the team to able to bring them here.
Right. Thank you, Isaac, for that update. We'll definitely get in touch with you for the latest as and when. Well, away from Savannah region, police have launched a full-scale investigation into the Sowutuom shooting incident, which has now claimed 3 lives and injured 4 others. Preliminary findings by the police indicate that the Saturday clash occurred between the followers of 2 rival chiefs. According to them, the confrontation started when residents of another community, Genoho, tried to sprinkle Kpokpoi in Sowutuom, a traditional dish central to the festival, despite resistance from the Sowutuom traditional leaders. Collins Frimpong reports.
The incident happened in one of the busy trading hubs in Sowutuom, surrounded by several container shops. At the location where one of the deceased fell, a closer look revealed blood droplets. But a tire burnt at the same location smears the blood marks. Some of the aluminium containers had bullet holes in them and shattered glass windows. The area was quiet as opposed to the vibrant Sunday sales. An eyewitness recounted what happened.
And the gunshots that was going on, bro, I don't know where they got the bullets from. For like 30 minutes continuously, the gun was just flying. We just asked what was the problem and we were told, people were having their Homowo and they wanted to come and sprinkle quickly here. But this place for the Sowutuom land. So the Sowutuom people said no, they won't allow them to come and sprinkle quickly here. That is the fight. The injured, I can't say because a lot. But then 2 people died.
Confirmed?
Confirmed.
By
the Sowutuom people there. Obrafo of Sowutuom, and then have to do this. The son of the chief.
Another woman who was so shaken by the incident said many of the traders fled the scene to avoid being hit by stray bullets.
Yesterday, they destroyed all our wares, including our glass containers. As you can see, when the situation later got worse, we fled into people's rooms to hide out of here. By 3 p.m., we closed all shops and took our children home.
At the time of our visit, there were no police or security officers at the scene. Some residents are still afraid to come out or even open their shops, fearing reprisals.
No, yesterday the place was quiet. I mean, everybody closed the shop. Because this morning, I learned more people didn't open their shops because they are afraid it will happen. And it will happen. As that when, I don't know, but it will happen. We live in the area, we know how the area is.
The police are yet to comment on the incident. For JoyNews, I am Collins Frimpong, Sowutuom.
Well, the police have begun investigations into the incident. In a statement released by the Accra Regional Police signed by Head of Public Affairs Superintendent Julian Obeng, it says preliminary investigations revealed that a misunderstanding broke out between followers of 2 rival chiefs during the sprinkling of the traditional food Kpokpoi, leading to an exchange of gunfire. The situation escalated when some attendees attempted to leave the festival grounds, resulting in further attacks at Olebu. 3 persons, Abubakar Ramadan Saba alias Ni Kwashibu, Theophilus Ni Amu Kwajan, and John Shaibu Dodu lost their lives in the violence. Additionally, 4 individuals, Enoch Amevo, treated and discharged, Samuel Ej, Nathaniel Doku, and Frederick Late alias Ni Obrafo, sustained injuries and are receiving treatment at various medical facilities, including Olebu Teaching Hospital and Ridge Hospital. Now, the bodies of the deceased have been deposited at the police hospital mortuary for preservation and autopsy, while the injured are receiving the necessary medical attention. Also, the Accra Regional Police Command has deployed additional personnel to restore calm and maintain law and order in the affected areas. Intelligence-led operations are underway to identify and arrest all those involved in the violence. The command strongly cautions traditional leaders, elders, and supporters to adhere strictly to agreed security arrangements and avoid acts that could jeopardize public peace. This is JoyNews Desk. We take a break. We return with more.
Welcome back to Business here on News Desk. My name is Winston Taki, and our 12 business story. Ghana and Peru are charting a new path to deepen trade and investment. At the Peru-Ghana Trade and Investment webinar in Accra, both countries pledged stronger collaboration in agribusiness and sustainable mining. Speaking at the webinar, Peru's ambassador to Ghana, Lillian Gomez, says the Peru-Ghana partnership is opening fresh opportunities in trade and investment. There is more in this report.
The Peru-Ghana Trade and Investment webinar addressed by the Peru's ambassador to Ghana, Liliana Gomez, brought together business leaders and policymakers to explore opportunities between the two nations. She highlighted Peru's access to billions of consumers through global free trade agreements and noted that Ghana's strategic position could serve as a gateway to West Africa, making the partnership mutually beneficial.
Peru and Ghana share values and in a long-standing relationship. Now we want to continue on putting an extra step by joining efforts so our businessmen could know each other and that could share their knowledge. Peru has signed free trade agreements that will allow to take us to a large number of consumers that could be named in billions.
She also revealed that a memorandum of understanding for political consultations has been signed, with the first meeting scheduled in 2 weeks.
We recently have signed a memorandum of understanding for political consultations that is going to the first meeting is going to take place in 2 weeks. And it will be an opportunity to get together in a large variety of topics, one of them being economic issues.
The Director of Economic Trade and Investment Bureau at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Nanakra Ansaije, commended the growing bilateral relations and called for deeper collaboration.
Both Ghana and Peru possess immense potential and complementary strengths that can be unlocked for our mutual benefit. We invite Peruvian private sector with expertise in irrigation and cold chain logistics to collaborate with Ghana in the area of agribusiness, agro-processing for local consumption to ensure food security. With the lucrative incentives in automobile assembly sector in Ghana, we ask Peru business sectors and entities to establish joint ventures for assembly and parts manufacturing.
With political consultations set to begin in 2 weeks, Ghana and Peru say the webinar marks the beginning of stronger partnerships in agribusiness, mining, and technology transfer to drive sustainable growth.
In another development, the Ghanaian informal sector is similarly close to external market forces, including international trade and import competition, due to issues of quality and standard. The sector, which usually produces new or self-constructed products and services, are rarely imported, leaving players in limited trade space. The Design and Technology Institute has identified the lack of standardization as a major drive to boost and make Ghana's informal sector and product and services internationally marketable. Here is a report by Clinton Yeboah.
Despite the size, the informal sector has long been characterized by challenges spanning from inconsistent standards, low productivity, and limited integration into formal economic systems. This is closing Ghana's opportunities on the global market. Founder and president of Design and Technology Institute, Constance Swanika, highlights the essence of prioritizing the informal sector as a block to hold the Ghanaian economy.
When we look at even the role of the African Free Trade Continental Agreement, even when it comes to exports, the currency is always standards. And so if you're able to meet international standards, then really you can also look at regional markets before we even look at international markets. Right now there's a big demand for African products, but it must go through a standards test.
In recognition of this standard gap, the Design and Technology Institute introduced the Precision Quality at Work initiative that has trained and graduated 1,500 artisans cut across technical and vocational industries. The intervention seeks to enable beneficiaries and their enterprises to operate with professionalism, deliver products and services that meet world-class standards.
These are master craftsmen who typically would have the skill sets, but when it comes to issue around quality assurance and standard, it's completely missing. And so what we focused on were issues around doing things to meet global standards. And so for the informal sector who really see that their market is not just local but regional, internationally, this is a big boost, and I'm very pleased to see that some of the informal companies that we've trained already have started looking at it, and some of them actually have started exporting as well.
Project coordinator for the Design and Technology Institute, Mohit Sharma, touted the initiative's inclusive quest to improve operations of the informal sector.
Expecting up to 60 to 70% of women coming in and participating here. But as we talk, up to 90% of the participants are female. So that indicates how the females are forthcoming, also understanding the need and the requirement of quality, formalization, and also about enhancing their businesses. Another thing that we see is that many of them are coming with their kids, the newborns and the kids, but most of them have completed 3 days of training. The training is for 3 days, so attendance has been 100%. So we find that the expectation was something, but we have seen more than what was expected.
Beneficiaries say the training has already impacted their businesses with the adoption of quality precision coaches.
And it has impacted my business so much. First, I got to understand how important getting customer feedbacks are. And so now I don't joke with it at all. And for the first time, my attention was drawn to the fact that I should have a first aid. That was something I didn't even have at my business. My business is improving just by attending this training. And I hope to grow more, employ more people.
For Joy News, my name is Clinton Yeboah.
That's all for business here on News Desk. Over to you, Momisi.
Thank you, Winston, and I hope you brought my jollof today too.
Probably, yeah.
For those who don't know, Winston is such a good cook, but we'll talk about that more later. Well, the Akwatia Health Directorate, working closely with the District Security Council, has heightened surveillance measures after confirming the area's first case of Mpox. The move comes amid growing concern over the spread of the virus in parts of the country, with health authorities stressing early detection, rapid response, and strict community monitoring as critical steps to contain any potential outbreak. While the confirmed case has recovered, the District Health Director, Eric Kojo Agboka, noted that the Directorate has activated surveillance activities.
Ghana has had quite a surge in our Mpox currently as we speak. We unfortunately recorded one case, confirmed case, about 2-3 weeks ago. Mpox normally it's under the IDSR, which a person who suffers from it might show some signs and symptoms, such as feeling cold, chills, having rashes, pains in the joints, and those things. And it can be transmitted from one person to another, either through contact or droplets. So when somebody gets it, it's one of the priority diseases that we need to make intervention, especially try to put on the surveillance activities to make sure that it is not transmitted to other people. So that's what we've been doing with our case. But fortunately, the case we had has recovered, and we don't have challenges for now.
Senior Major Thompson. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. Thanks for your company.